Hei vaan sinne kuvaruuteen toiselle puolelle. Tämä tulee olemaan englanninkielinen live-lähetys. Hello everyone. My name is Reija Lammi and I am the creator of the concept called Saga of the Heart. And this whole introduction video will be in English. And if you just give me a second or two, and I will share this live feed into my Facebook page. So just bear with me for a moment, and then I will start to explain a little bit the backgrounds of me and my Saga of the Heart concept and what I do and what all the aspects are included in this concept of mine. But just a moment, I will just share this video. Just a sec, and here we go. I will just check that I will put this straight into my Facebook page, that people who want to, they can see it straight away. Please, introduction. Saga. Just a second. English. Saga. Right. Here we go. And I will put the link here. Then we can carry on. Let's see. I will put this one here also. Yes. Here we go. All right. Thank you for being here. I truly want to give my warm welcome to you all to listen to this live feed about my own concept and the things that I teach forward. And I am the creator of the concept called Saga of the Heart. And this is something that I came up with about 3 years ago. And it's based on this this drawing. Sorry about the backgrounds. it's been used so much. So this is the symbol of my concept, Saga of the Heart. And what this picture represents is the whole existence of our being. And as you can see, there is different symbols around this Saga of the Heart symbol, these smaller symbols, and they all have a specific meaning in this whole picture. And this way, this symbol is representing our whole being, all the different parts of our being, our physical appearance, our emotional appearance, our thought process, our spiritual appearance, our heart space, and even many more other aspects. And I would like to a little bit tell you now what is the meaning behind this concept of mine. And about 3 years ago, when I first came up with this drawing, I didn't have it. I didn't have it quite this. All these smaller pictures were not ready. I was just putting the concepts and the framework in their places. But when I actually draw this drawing or drew this drawing, I finally understood that what I was teaching at the moment, 3 years before, I suddenly understood that I have a whole concept in my hands, not only just one particular training or teaching that I could share to the world, but I actually had a real whole concept that I could bring into the world. And this made me then start to look for a name for this concept. And the concept is called Saga of the Heart. And I would like to a little bit explain the name, more deeper aspects of this name. And Saga is really ancient, a really old concept of the storytelling tale, a story that goes on or is passed on from generation to generation. And Saga always tells about the story that was made in some particular time with by some particular person, or how it created some particular events or some particular history, and how this event molded the future for the other people to come. So Saga, for the name in my concept, has a really important role telling the importance, or the importance to realize that we are creating our lives every single second when we are living on this earth. Every single decision, every single step we are taking, we are creating history, and we are creating the future for the next generations. And this is why I wanted to include this particular concept or name or meaning for my own concept. So Saga in my Saga of the Heart concept means our actions that we are taking right now, and all those actions that are forming our history and our future in this very moment. All right. And because I understood that love is something that is really powerful, really powerful, I don't even know how to call it, really powerful force here in Earth and in our human experience, I wanted to include love in some way in this name of my concept. And that's why I picked up the word heart, because I think that our heart is like it's like a balancing element in our lives. Everything that goes through our heart will eventually come out as a really balanced, really wise, and really profound meanings. It will come out with really profound meanings through our actions, through our thinking, and through our words. And this is why I wanted to pick the word heart, because I think that when we are really conscious, when we are really aware of our own beings, something that we are at the moment, what we bring into the world, and what all gifts and talents we are carrying inside of ourselves. When we realize this, when we realize how gifted and talented we are, and what is the magic that lies inside our hearts, then we can make everything. We can create our actions, we can create our thoughts, and we can create our emotions from our hearts. And when my concept is saying saga of the heart, it means that we are creating the history of this very moment, and we are creating future in this very moment from our hearts. And this is the basic meaning behind my concept: to become aware human beings, really conscious human beings that are able to act from their hearts. And I can say in this very moment that it's not easy to follow your heart. It's really, really not easy work to truly follow your heart and listen all those aspects that your heart is trying to say to you. This is why we have so many imbalances in our worlds, in this planet, because we are not concentrating to our hearts. We are concentrating to build the world through our mind and through our imagination and through our mind's power. We are not used to create the world through our heart's power. And our heart is really powerful when we really cultivate all these amazing good energies that we are keeping inside our hearts. And if we go a little bit more into this concept of mine, I want to shortly explain you these different symbols and what this concept that I call Saga of the Heart, what it actually includes, and what are those different parts of our own whole being that are affecting our everyday life. And I have named these smaller symbols with numbers. It doesn't matter which symbol you learn first or you start to work with first, because you are working with all these symbols already all the time. But now I am pointing out that if you want to, you can start to work with these symbols more consciously, being more aware of these different aspects of yours. And the first one here, up here, the first symbol, it represents the really fine vibrational energy frequencies. It represents our sensory system, our sensibility to sense the world. It includes our hearing, our eyesight, our smelling abilities and taste abilities, our sensibility to touch and feel different things through our skin, and all these 5 senses that we have. I believe that they create the basis for our 6th sensibility, which is intuition. And this way, this symbol here, up here, it presents our communication with the world. The spiral that you can see in the picture, the spiral represents the ongoing communication with the world. Spiral going from inside out, it tells something that we share to the world. And when the spiral goes from outside inward, it tells about the lessons and experiences and all the different events and the moments that we got to experience during our lives. And this way, we are in constant communication with the world around us and with the world inside of us. And these small dots in top of the spiral, they are representing the connections, these kind of cosmic connections that we have outside of our bodies. It presents our higher self, our broader consciousness, our broader being, our higher being that is with us all the time. And it represents the communication that it goes in both ways. And in a way, what we learn here as a human beings, all what we learn is also is also very important information to the higher beings, because it might be that all of the higher beings around somewhere in the cosmos, they haven't been in a human form. So that's why this way they learn through our experiences. And also, if we want to, we can open up our higher senses to get the information, to get the help and get the support from these higher beings to our human life, to go through all these different challenges and different kind of changes that we are facing here on Earth. And the second symbol, smaller symbol, is presenting our emotions and the world of our emotions. And this is really important aspect as emotions are affecting us so deeply. This is the if not the highest aspect of ourselves that affects our actions the most, but at least is the second most powerful aspect of our being. And emotions are really important for us. And unfortunately, we haven't been taught to work with our emotions. And that is something that is bringing a huge imbalance into the world at the moment, because we are not used to work with our own emotions. And when we are not so aware about our own emotions, it's usually that we only react to things. We react really compulsively. We just react to different things that are brought into our attentions before we even think through all those things that are brought to us and how we should act in those situations. And this part of our aspect is something that throws us out of balance in a second. And I heard this saying that if you are able to control your feelings, you can control the whole life around you. And that's really powerful statement. And this is why working with your feelings is really important. And it's not always easy to work with your feelings, because feelings are really powerful, and there's like two aspects of the feelings. There is the really this genuine feelings that are arising up, and then there is these secondary feelings that are based on your previous experiences or your fears for the future. So it's not always easy to work with your emotions, especially if you have experienced really challenging life. But it's really important work, because emotions can throw you off so easily, and it happens in a second, especially when you are not connected into your own heart and into your own heart space, where all the balance is found. And the third one, the third little symbol here is represented as a human form. And this symbol represents our physical body and all the magic that we are embodying in this physical body. It represents all the possibilities that we have as a human beings when we are in this physical form, in this human body. And it actually represents the action side of our being. In human form, we can make actions, we can make things happen. Either it's positive or negative action, but we are able to act and make effect in this world through our actions. And being in this physical form, it's really important to understand how much your physical body is doing work for you and for yourself. It's amazing machine. Almost everything, almost all the different functions in our physical body are automatic. We don't have to tell our heart to beat. We don't have to tell our body to breathe. And this way, we don't have to tell our blood to stream inside or flow inside our body. This is something that happens automatically. You don't have to do anything about it. It happens automatically. And your how do you say, your work, your responsibility as a human being, as a soul being in this human form, is to make sure that you support all these automatic events inside of your body. And this you can do with enough rest, having enough rest, having enough fresh food to support your physical system, and to have enough good sleep, to have enough enjoyment in your life, to exercise enough, to fully integrate all this magic for yourself and everything that you can do when you are feeling really balanced and healthy and happy inside of this physical form. And I want to underline once more that our physical body is really magical. I have heard many people saying, sorry, I have heard many people saying that our physical body prevents us to go higher or go more faster and stuff like that. But I think that our physical body is not the blockage in any way, but I think it's really, it's actually something, our physical body actually makes us possible to be higher beings in this physical body, because all these different senses that we have. If we wouldn't have a physical body and we wouldn't have our emotions or our thought, we wouldn't experience anything in here on earth. So this is why I think we should feel more gratitude towards our physical body and all the magical things that this physical body is doing for us. And then there is our thought process. The fourth symbol represents our thought process. And just a moment, I will take a little bit more water. This fourth symbol is really tricky one, because it also has this polarity, and we can split our mind to conscious mind and unconscious mind. And what is the problem with our mind usually is that we live our lives through this unconscious mind. We are living our life as unconscious people, and we hardly never use our conscious mind. All those images, all those stories, all those dreams and goals that we have in our mind. This is something that we usually put somewhere far away from us, thinking that our mind is just creating these silly dreams that are not even accessible or not real goals. But why these images and stories and dreams are created in your mind is actually because they are trying to tell you your abilities as a human being. They are trying to show you what all the different things you could do if you would dare to go after your dreams. But instead of that, we are living more from unconscious mind, through our unconscious mind, through our fears, through our past experiences. And not all of our past experiences are good ones. So that's why it is a challenge, because when we are okay, thanks. So when we are living our lives through our past experiences, we are not really experiencing anything new. We are in a cycle of repeating the old patterns and old events and old experiences. And it's really hard to try to cut this circle, or this continuing thing that you are playing in your life, if you are not consciously trying to do that. And that's why the symbol for the thoughts, it's the symbol presents like the clouds. It presents that the clouds are our thoughts, all those images, all those stories, and all those different thoughts that are coming into our mind. And all the space around the clouds are the higher consciousness, all the higher beings, or the cosmos, universe, whatever you want to call it. And when the cloud forms in the sky, then we have taken some of those cosmic knowing, and we have formed it as our thought. And these raindrops that are under the cloud, they present our thoughts and the actions that we are taking based on our new ideas or new goals in our lives. And this way, the universe is giving us some kind of ideas, and it's up to us people, it's up to us every individuals, if we are going to act on those thoughts, or are we just keeping them as fantasies or dreams that will never come true. So our true challenge is to find the balance between the unconscious and conscious mind, and try to figure out where to believe and where to base on your actions. Are they based on your previous experiences, or are they based on your new ideas or new goals that could take you forward? And the fifth symbol here in the center, obviously it represents our heart center. And I believe that our heart is kind of like a scale. It balances all the time these different aspects of our whole being. Everything everything that is part of us is balanced through our own heart space. And this is the ongoing balancing scale. It balances all the time, every single moment. It balances your thoughts and your emotions and the things that you are feeling and sensing from outside of you and what you are feeling inside of you, and it balances your actions and reactions and responses and everything that you are doing with these feelings and with these thoughts of yours. And there is 5 different symbols represented here, and I believe that we can look this symbol also in different dimensions. And if we look the lower part of this picture, it represents our thoughts, our emotions, and our physical being, and of course part of the heart center. And this lower part represents our 3rd dimension, the normal basic human lives, all the struggles, all the daily routines that we are doing, all the things that we are facing in every single day. And this world is usually really harsh, especially if you are not connected to your higher self, because this 3D life it puts you in the position where you usually only react to the things that are coming toward you or are presented to you. You are not creating life so much in this 3D world. You are more respond to everything that comes towards you. And the upper part of the picture I call 4D, 4th dimension. This is usually the dimension that when it opens up to you, you start to realize that there is something more into this world than just this physical life, all these physical challenges that we are facing. And when we look the whole picture, when these 2 different parts are connecting to our heart center, I call this living in 5D world, the 5th dimension world. And it means that then we have been able to connect all these different symbols around the heart center, and we are starting to experience the life more through all these different aspects of our lives. We use our senses, we use our emotions, we use our thoughts and our actions more consciously, and everything, all the steps and all the actions are going through our heart center. And this is the first time that you usually got into contact with your true spiritual side, not just a thought process or some meaning of the spiritual side, but you will actually awaken to your higher senses, and you will get to experience your true soul essence, all these higher vibrational energies around you. And addition to these 5 different symbols, there is 2 more meanings in this symbol, or actually there is 4, but what I have thought so far is 7, so 2 more symbols. So altogether 7 more symbols. And as you can see, these small lines here, the 6th meaning, the 6th dimension of this symbol is when energies are starting to collect from outside world into your heart center. When you start to collect the energy inside your heart. And this usually means that all the experiences, everything that happens to you is brought to you for you to be able to learn more about love. And I call this 6th dimension as a school of love. All the possible experiences that you are experiencing on the 6th dimension, they mean that they are there to teach you more about love. Even if those experiences have been challenging, even if you have experienced the worst pain of your life, that particular experience is teaching you the love behind that pain. And you will understand this when you have reached the knowledge with yourself, inside of yourself, and you have reached the knowledge to awaken to this 6th dimension. And the 7th symbol in this picture is when the energy flow changes and the energies are starting to flow from your heart center outside to the world. And this 7th dimension is called action of love. And this means that when you have reached this 7th dimension with yourself, it means that you have learned something really profound from life. You have learned something really profound through all of your experiences, and you have realized something really important from your life. And this realization that you have got is something that you now want to share to the life, to other people, to other groups, whatever. When you are in the 7th dimension, you will become a creator, like a true conscious creator of life. Every single action, every single thought, every single emotion you have, they are creating something into the life. They are creating your surroundings. And when you are in a 7th dimension, you understand this so clearly that every step, every decision, every feeling, emotion, every thought that you have, they are creating life. They are creating life around you and inside of you. And when you are in a 7th dimension, you already understand that it's more beneficial to create your life through love than challenges or any lower vibrational energies. So this is the main symbolic meanings of the concept of mine, the Saga of the Heart. And there is actually two more meanings that I got last year, but I will share them a little bit later because I always want to understand these different symbols before I share them, because it means that then I have actually experienced them and fully understood those meanings behind those symbols. But I can reveal so much that these two more symbols, they present in some levels our 8th dimension and 9th dimension, and they both in some level represents our ability to manifest the life. So I hope this was informative, and I hope that I was able to give you a cute view about my concept of the Saga of the Heart. And this is something that I bring into the world. I usually say that I'm not the teacher because you have all this information inside of you already, but I'm more like an awakener. I try to awake people to think different things differently, and this way I through this my own concept I try to bring new ideas of our beings into the world and how we can work with these different aspects of ourselves. Okay, that was a long talk, and let's see if there is any. Oh, it's almost an hour already. Thank you so much for being here. And now, if you have any questions, if you want to, you can write it in Finnish too, and I will then translate them. And I can give you some answers if I know the answers. And if you want to, you can use this time now to ask any possible questions you wanna ask about this concept, or about the Saga of the Heart, or any other issues that you think about our higher being, or whatever you want to ask. I'm here to help you, and I'm happy to give you some answers if I have some answers for your questions. But if not, if you don't have any questions right away, you can leave your comments below the video, and I will answer them then later on. But it was really nice to have you here, and this was for me a little bit like good exercise to practice my English and bring this knowledge into the world also in English, because this is one of my dreams to go international with this idea someday. But at the moment, I don't have time and I don't have resources to translate all these videos in English too. But maybe someday that will be possible. Okay, shortly, how to connect to the higher self. This is something that I teach in my first online training, and it is connected to this first symbol, the symbol that really gives us ability to connect to our higher self. And this is done through different really simple exercises where you will come familiar with your own energy flows. And this is really deeply explained in my first online course, Tutustu omaan aistimaailmaasi. And this way, when you realize your own energies, your own energy flows, it is the first sign that you have connected with your higher self. But then after this connection, after you have made this connection and you start to feel your own energies, then it will be all to learn the communication between you and your higher self through this really fine vibrational energy communication. This is not just that you are sensing the energies. This is actually the communication that you go through with your higher self. What is that spiral symbol? Where does it come from? This spiral symbol is one of the basic symbols in life, in nature, everywhere you go. If you want to, you can go and Google just the word spiral, and if you want to, you can add the meaning behind the spiral meaning, and you can find the different meanings of the spiral, and you can find a lot of information about what the spiral represents in life and in nature. And in my own symbol, as I explained, it's a two-way communication. You can see the spiral going from outside into the inside of the spiral. And that's usually meaning that all the experiences, all the happenings, events, and encounters that you are facing in your life, you will get some kind of information from those experiences, and they are collected into your heart. So when the spiral is going from outside into the center of the spiral, it means that you are collecting information and knowledge into your heart from all different experiences that you are experiencing. And when the spiral is seen flowing from center to the outside world, then it means that the wisdom that you have inside your heart, you are ready to share your wisdom to the world. So when the spiral is going from center and starting to go outward, it means that you are sharing your heart to the world. And this is two-way communication with the world. I hope that I was able to explain it clearly enough. But if you want to, you can find a lot of information about the spiral. But it's one basic forms in life, and that's why it's really important to understand the mechanism of the spiral. But there must be really more profound information also. This was only something that I have explained in my own symbol. All right, thanks. Any other questions that you have in mind? These are really good questions. I love to answer these questions, and I want to remind you that that I am not always right. Okay, thanks. I am not always right. I don't have all the right answers. Everything that I said in this video, I want you to pass it through your own heart and your own belief system, because we all see world different ways, and we all have different kind of knowledge about ourselves. So I see this common trend in spiritual groups also, that we get into the fight of what different meanings and what different sides are the right ones. And I don't think that we have any one particular right way to look to the world or look about the world, because we all have our own unique way to see the world. And that's why it's really important to always, whatever information you are reading or you are seeing or digesting, it's really important to run it through your own heart and through your own belief system, and make it fit to yourself. And if it doesn't fit into your belief systems, then just throw it away. It's not your time to get this information then. Or it might be that it's too old for you already. It might be that you are already somewhere else and you don't need this information anymore. So always go through all the information that you are interested in. Go and run them through your heart, and this way you will find the balance with all this information that are available in the world. Okay, I think we are not running out of time, but I think we have been here so long already that I will end here, and I will keep these kind of informative live sessions in English too in the future, because I want to bring this idea to the world, like the global world also, not only here in Finland. But thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for listening all this, and if you want to find more information about my concept, the Saga of the Heart, there's a couple of different ways where you can find the information. I have wrote the book about it, so you can find the book from my webpage, or you can tap into this YouTube channel, subscribe into the channel, and push the buttons to get the call when I do these live sessions. And if you want to, you can come into my news feed. You can find it from my newsletter. You can find it from my website also. And I'm also in Facebook. I have online courses. I do some treatments and individual sessions, face-to-face sessions with people. And what else? Some retreats. Unfortunately, I had to cancel this summer's retreat because of this hassle around the world. And maybe next year, then we have a better chance to dive into these depths of this Saga of the Heart concept. But whatever you do, make your best to become more aware about your surroundings, about your feelings, about your thoughts, about everything that you are sensing around you, and also about the actions that you are making. I have had my own lessons in this year about the reactions, compulsive reactions, where you react. When I reacted the way I wasn't supposed to react, and that was a huge lesson for me. And it was showing for me also that even though I have been talking about this for years already, I am still a human being, and I still have these imbalances inside of myself. So I am here walking this path with you all. I'm not a superior person. I'm a human being, and I make mistakes, and I try to learn my mistakes, and I try to find the ways to better my life all the time. So thank you for listening. Thank you for being here, and thank you for your questions. It was nice to have you here, and I hope you have all the best time of your life. Even though we have all this isolation and all this hassle around us. All the love. Bye-bye.